Have you ever thought about the vast universe that exists inside of you? It's that internal world of thoughts, feelings, and experiences that no one else can see. Today, we're going to be diving deep into your inner world, but specifically into the inner corners of your internal world, and that's what we call the shadow self. Before we dive deep into the shadow, let's talk about the inner world that we all carry. Every single person you meet is living in their own internal universe. It's a rich landscape of thoughts, memories, and emotions and dreams that shape every single thing that we do, from the macro to the micro. Now, think about this for a second. Right now, you're watching this video and you're experiencing countless sensations, thoughts, and feelings. Maybe you're aware of the temperature of the room, a slight tension in your shoulders, or thoughts of drifting in and out. This is your inner world. It's your private universe that no one else can access directly. But here's where it gets interesting. Beneath the conscious experience lies an even deeper realm. It's a place where we store all parts of ourselves we'd rather not look at, and this is where our shadow lives. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. Your conscious awareness, the thoughts and feelings you recognize, that's just the tip. But beneath the surface lies a vast universe of repressed emotions, hidden desires, and untapped potential. This is your shadow self. Every time you've said, "I would never do that" about someone else's behavior, only to find yourself doing the exact same thing later, that's your shadow at work. These moments when you snap at someone and think, "That's not me at all," that's your shadow emerging. When Carl Jung introduced the shadow concept to modern psychology, it goes much deeper than that. Ancient wisdom traditions have understood this for millennia. In Tibetan Buddhism, for example, they practice something called feeding your demons. That literally means you're dialoguing with these rejected parts of yourself. And in other mystical practices, they speak of the dark night of the soul, which is a necessary journey through your own darkness or your own shadow. Let's explore how the shadow forms within our inner world. As children, we quickly learn what's acceptable and what isn't. Maybe you've learned that being too successful would make others jealous, or that being creative wasn't practical. With each of these messages, you tucked away parts of yourself. These aspects didn't disappear. They just went underground, creating a hidden dimension in your internal universe. Now, this is where self-sabotage enters the picture. When these hidden parts of your inner world don't get acknowledged, they revolt. It's like having a neglected child inside of you throwing a tantrum. That's when you might find yourself procrastinating on an important project or picking fights in relationships when things aren't going well. Your shadow isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to get your attention. It's asking to be seen and integrated back into your conscious inner world. Now let's talk about how to work with this internal universe of yours. Shadow work isn't comfortable. It's like cleaning out a basement that you've been avoiding for years. You're going to go and find things you forgot that were even there. Things you deliberately hid, and yes, some things that might initially frighten you. Think of yourself as an explorer of your own consciousness. Just like an explorer needs tools and maps, you need methods to navigate your inner landscape. Let me share some practical approaches with you. Your internal universe has its own climate and its own patterns. When someone does something that bothers you deeply, pause for a second. Explore your inner reaction. Notice the physical sensations, the emotions, and the thoughts that arise. This is your inner world speaking to you. As you explore and integrate these hidden aspects of your inner world, you'll notice some changes. Triggers lose their intense grip. Relationships become more authentic. Creativity flows more freely. And you feel a lot more spacious inside. Here's something fascinating about your inner world. Every shadow aspect contains a gift. The anger you've rejected, it holds the power of healthy boundaries. That sensitivity you've pushed away, it carries deep empathy and intuition. Remember, your inner world ripples out into the collective. As you integrate your shadow, you contribute to the healing of the collective consciousness. Every time you acknowledge a rejected part of yourself, you make it easier for others to do the same. So in terms of things that you can do daily, think of tending to your inner world like you're caring for a garden. You can journal about your emotional landscape. Notice when you feel triggered and get curious about it. Create space for dialogue with avoided parts and pay attention to your dreams. Your inner universe is vast and complex. The shadow isn't something to fear or eliminate. It's a vital part of your internal landscape, waiting to be explored and integrated. Every time you feel resistance to looking at these darker corners of your inner world, remember that's where your untapped potential lies. That's where your creativity lives. That's where your authentic self is waiting to emerge. Only through the inner world, including shadow work, is perhaps the most important exploration you'll ever undertake. Because in embracing all aspects of your internal universe, you're not just healing yourself, you're essentially becoming whole. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. What parts of your inner world are you ready to explore? What aspects of yourself are you ready to reclaim? And if you found value in this deep dive into the internal universe, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.